He never imagined it would happen. 12 years of marriage, shared memories, quiet mornings, and a life built brick by brick. And yet, when he reached out to touch her shoulder that night, she flinched like his hand was a threat instead of a promise. At first he froze. He thought he misread it. Maybe she was distracted. Maybe she was cold. Maybe he brushed her too suddenly. But no, her body spoke the truth he had been blind to for years. She didn't feel safe with him anymore. Something inside him cracked open. Not anger, not ego, not pride. It was the sickening realization that the woman he loved no longer trusted his presence. She didn't lean into him. She recoiled, and that single moment told him everything he had refused to hear. She didn't fear him. She feared the weakness in him, the hesitance, the apologetic energy. The man who once stood tall now walked lightly, cautious, muted, and women do not flinch from strength, they flinch from the absence of it. He remembered a time when she used to melt into his touch, when her eyes lit up just because he entered the room, when she laughed deeper, breathed softer, and moved closer. Back then he carried direction, conviction, and presence. He was a lighthouse, not a shadow, but life chipped at him, stress, routines, compromises, and silent. Resentment drained his fire. He tried being more agreeable, more gentle, more nice, and with every inch of himself he surrendered. She withdrew a little more. Until that night, when the truth finally revealed itself on her skin, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't cruelty. It was biology, psychology, instinct. Women do not desire men they cannot feel anchored by. They do not relax into men who feel lost. They do not respect men who abandon their own power, and she had been feeling that decline. Long before he noticed, he stood in the hallway that night, replaying that small flinch like a slow-motion replay of failure. But instead of drowning in shame, something unexpected rose within him: clarity. Brutal, honest clarity that cut through the fog he had lived in for years. He realized he had two choices: blame her for changing or change himself, sink deeper into comfort and denial, or rise into strength and leadership again, collapse under the truth, or be reborn through it. For the first time in a long time, he chose the difficult path. The next morning, he didn't beg for affection. He didn't guilt her. He didn't try to force tenderness. He simply looked at himself, really looked. He saw the slouched shoulders, the defeated expression, the uncertainty in every move. He was physically present, but spiritually absent. He made a decision. The version of himself she flinched from would die there in that moment. A new man, forged from accountability and masculine clarity, would replace him, not for her approval, not for her validation, but because he refused to live as a diluted version of himself. He started with small changes. He spoke with certainty instead of questions disguised as statements. He walked with purpose instead of drifting. He corrected his posture, his tone, his pace. Every action was intentional. Every movement embodied direction. He wasn't performing dominance, he was reclaiming it. She noticed it quietly. Women always do: a shift in his presence, a groundedness, a man no longer waiting to be chosen, but choosing himself. She didn't say anything at first, but the flinch never happened again. Her body recognized something returning before her mind could articulate it. He stopped over-explaining his thoughts. He spoke fewer but clearer words. He listened more. He stopped apologizing for existing. He began leading plans again: dinners, decisions, weekends, goals. He stepped back into the role life had once carved for him before he drifted away from it. And with each day, her shoulders relaxed around him, her eyes softened, her tone warmed. She joked again. She leaned sideways when he walked past her, not away. Polarity returned slowly but unmistakably. Attraction is not built through words, it is restored through presence. He wasn't trying to win her back, he was winning himself back, and that changed everything, because a man grounded in self-respect becomes magnetic. A man anchored in purpose becomes irresistible. A man who leads from the chest instead of fear reshapes the environment around him. One night, weeks after the flinch, she touched him first, gentle, intentional, honest. There was no tension in her fingers, no hesitation in her body language. She looked at him like she used to, eyes filled with recognition, not confusion. She saw the man she married, restored. She leaned into him that night, resting her head on his shoulder without a word. No dramatic speeches, no apologies, no emotional breakdown. Just a woman finally feeling safe again in the masculine presence she had been starving for without knowing how to ask. That moment didn't feel like a victory. It felt like a homecoming, a return to polarity, to balance, to the natural dance of masculine and feminine energy. That modern life tries to suffocate. They didn't rewrite the marriage, they rewrote themselves. He understood something powerful. Women don't destroy men. Weakness does, indecision does. The man who abandons himself invites erosion into the relationship, and when the masculine collapses, the feminine becomes chaotic, anxious, and reactive. Her flinch wasn't rejection, it was a cry for strength. He never forgot that lesson. He carried it forward every day. Leadership wasn't loud, it wasn't forceful, it was steady, present, calm. A man who knows where he's going naturally brings others into alignment, especially the woman who loves him. He built structure back into his life, routine, discipline, health, boundaries, not to impress her but to become unshakable again. He set goals beyond the marriage. He reconnected with purpose. He stopped seeking permission for his ambitions, and the more he grew, the more she relaxed. Feminine energy blossoms under masculine stability. Not dominance through intimidation, but dominance through direction. She didn't need him to be perfect. She needed him to stand tall, to carry weight, to move with conviction. One day she told him something that sealed his transformation. When you touched me that night, I didn't flinch because of you. I flinched because I couldn't feel you. It was the most honest thing she had ever said to him. He understood. Presence is not physical, it is energetic. A woman can feel when a man's spirit is not behind his touch, when his confidence has eroded, when his fire is dim. Her body responds instinctively, long before her words catch up. From that day on, he vowed to never let himself disappear again, not for her, not for the marriage, but because he never wanted to live hollow. A man's strength is not loud, it is the silent weight he carries with integrity. Their connection grew deeper than ever before. Respect returned, desire rekindled, playfulness resurfaced. She looked at him with admiration, not duty, and he held her not with fear of loss, but with the steady certainty of a man who knows his value. 12 years together marked the moment he awakened, not the moment he failed. The flinch was not the death of their marriage, it was the rebirth of his masculinity. Pain was the teacher, strength was the lesson, and love was the outcome. And if you ask him today what changed everything, he'll tell you, the moment she flinched wasn't the moment I lost her. It was the moment I found myself.